Christianity. It is not good for our people. It will not help us. It will not decide the election.
Right.
It will not stop police brutality.
Right.
What else? It will not give us financial stability.
Okay.
It will not give us $500 billion like what I.S.U.P.K trying to do.
Right.
So see, just that quick. Just that goddamn quick. So tonight we're gonna go into a little bit of the history, light history,
Okay.
not heavy. All right, it's a light history of it, from both sides. We're gonna go into the history. Immaculate conception, right? Immaculate conception is something they both believe in. Christians believe in Immaculate Conception. They believe in Jesus Christ, but him being born of a virgin by the Holy Spirit. Muslims also believe in Jesus Christ being born of a virgin by the Holy Spirit. Christmas, Christians believe in Christmas. Muslims celebrate Christmas. And God's chosen people. Christians believe God's chosen people is everybody. Muslims believe Islam teaches God's chosen people is everybody. Right. Once you submit to the will of Allah. Okay. All right? Inshallah, Allah, and all that stuff. Right? Once you do that now you are God's chosen people. We're going to go into all those three things, Lord allow, before 9. Just a plug, Commander YAHANNA, show coming on live tonight at 9, going into that judge. I suggest you don't miss it, brother. That judge is the wicked witch of the West Side. Throw water on that bitch. I guarantee she gonna melt. You gonna see tonight. That is a broom between the leg toting bitch. She is a witch, brother. Good night. And that's why Trump said he like her. Trump said he like women anyway. He said that's why he appointed her over, some of the men because, that's his preference, right? Where's the other one? Bear with me one. All right. So, so we go Christianity, Islam, right? Life history. Christianity, anybody, where did it start? Go ahead.
If I may, you talk about what Christianity was supposed to be.
You can start with that.
Come, sir. So Christianity's start came from when Christ was killed, was murdered by the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
And his disciples went out and taught what Christ was teaching. And they were called Christians as a derogatory term because they followed Christ. And then as they were teaching, different people, heathens, took on the customs and bastardized it. And then officially, Constantine made it a religion where they merged Roman and Greek philosophy with some of the scriptures.
In short, in a nutshell. All right, in a nutshell. Anybody else? Bear with me one.
Sir. You two want to drink, sir?
Yeah, waiting for the other shit. So what?
Sir.
All right. Anybody else? Take a shot. Go ahead.
Sir, if I may, I always thought that it came from Egypt because of their ways and customs, because they were before the Greeks.
What do they call it? I think it's the Coptics.
Coptics.
I think it's the Coptics.
Yep.
Right. Okay. The Coptics. There's practices that come from them, but the Christianity that the Pope, Rome, that shit started just after Yahushua. All right, just after Yahushua ascended, after his crucifixion, he came back. Then he ascended into heaven. Then the truth, down there, did what he did. It died, and then resurrected after. After a while, Peter and them started to build it back when they realized what they had to do, and they realized what the work was, and they started building. All right, so let's at least start there. All right. All right, so now talking about Okay, so 70, 80, 9.5 tribes left, right? We'll start with Christianity, right? Unless Islam want to go first. All right? Unless Islam won't go first, right? Islam might get off the hook tonight, but I'm going to have to do a part 2 or come back with this one. So around 70 AD, right? You had, the fall of the abomination of desolation, right? Right, when Titus then came in, took over Jerusalem, ran us out of Israel. It says around 1 million Jews fled into Africa, right? So now, around 100 AD, you had the schools of Christ starting to be rebuilt or to thrive. Well, not be rebuilt. By that time, they started to get up and running. They started gaining momentum, started gaining, notoriety. They started gaining stability. They started getting that foundation, right? By 313 AD, they were forced into the catacombs, right? So now you had between 180, because I'm looking at me like, nigga, you need to teach us Monday.
I love the history, sir.
No sweat. Listen, me too, but it's good. Other than that, I'm going to sleep. History's not my thing. I can never get rid of it. Of course, the biblical history we have, that for sure I have an appreciation for. I grew up learning about Mesopotamia and the cradle of civilization, and I couldn't stand the shit. That's today I have an aversion to Egypt because of that shit. I can't learn nothing about Hotep, even fuck all of that. So I'm sitting back here and spaz out like I'm 4 years old or 8 years old, or however whatever the age was. I can't deal with it. And Lucy, I remember Lucy. Lucy was the skeleton. Lucy was the first female. Brother, I was sitting listening. If I tell I was sitting in that class like a little child thinking how to kill this teacher. Because I didn't understand. It took me a while to even pronounce Mesopotamia. I was like, what the hell is that? Where are we learning this shit? Anyway, so now between 180 and 313 AD, you had the truth thriving and taking root, taking power. The school started to gain strength and power, right? There's a time, Jerusalem is up with Peter and them. Paul is doing his thing in Asia Minor. You still had the Roman occupation in Jerusalem. And they're pushing, but as they're pushing, and the truth is making a resurgence because Christ is already gone. Now the Romans they're not having it because they already killed Christ.
Right.
Now 200 years later, different Caesars, different military men, and now you're still talking this shit. We can't have that. So now they started to persecute Israel. And the only place that was safe was the catacombs, right? Around 335 AD, Rome fell, right? The barbarians began to rule. Who are the barbarians? Go ahead.
It's like, if I may, were they the ones, is this with the Great Schism?
We're coming up to that.
Okay,
I'm coming up to that. That's coming. That's right there. All right. But okay, anybody else? So,
Sorry, sir, if I may. The barbarians, those are the Israelites because of how we spoke.
The Israelites were encompassed in the barbarians. The barbarians was kind of like a catch-all phrase for anybody who was not civilized, right? Who was not Roman, speaking, the eloquent Greek language, alpha, delta, theta, and who wasn't speaking that gay-ass language.
Right.
It was called barbarians because the Hebrew is ba ga da, like we sound like sheep, ba ba ba. That's how we are, like the barbarians, right? So that's when, of course, Rome fell, and the people who were considered quote unquote less than the Romans, started to get power.
Right.
All right. Moving forward, okay, so Israel now is the truth, not Israel, but the truth is being pushed into the catacombs, where the brothers is going in there. I believe that some of the brothers they would call the Essenes, who would keep the scrolls. That's why a lot of the scrolls are found in caves.
Okay,
Understand? In caves, inside caves, they would put them in pots. Over time, the pots get broken, and they'll find different scrolls here, there, and everywhere.
Right.
But hiding our scrolls in caves was because that's where we had to go to teach the truth.
Right.
Just imagine, even today with America, I'm just gonna fall. Close to here, right? Just imagine today, even with America. Imagine now the streets turn into where's your mask? I'm taking your temperature. If like Nazi Germany,
right,
but with COVID. And because of that now, you talking this Jesus is black shit, you can't talk that.
Right.
Now the truth is COVID.
Right.
You're gonna have to hide somewhere. You're gonna have to go into somewhere to teach. It's just like slavery.
Yeah,
you're gonna hide, you're gonna go in somewhere to teach men, loyal men, and then you come and you fish more. And then you bring them back, you fish more because you're building your nation.
Right.
You don't want your culture to die. You get the point? All right, so now we get up to Constantine. Once again, we're doing it a little quick because of the time, right? What time I have now?
7:39, sir.
Okay. All right. We're doing it. All right, Constantine, right? He began to tolerate Israel, right? Because as Rome grew from where it was, they understood that it was more expensive and it was not as long lasting to force to rule by that type of force. They understood that it just costs too much to keep your foot on their neck.
Right.
Now you have to make people willing. So in the toleration in tolerating the ways of the Jews, which they would call pagan,
right.
Now they decided to take some of the customs, merge it in the chapter. Some of the customs, merge it with the Christianity, and even other pagans would. Here we go. The other pagans, not the other pagans, but compared, that's how the Romans would see us as pagans, like the Hamites or the East Indians or whoever.
Right.
They would now go and take some of their customs and allow the pagans to keep their customs in exchange. In exchange for power, and of course the Christian tradition, which is really Roman culture with Caesar on it. Right. You get me? That's what it really is. Roman culture with Caesar on it. All right, because I see me this year. Yeah, I want to do it. So what?
Go for it, sir.
Okay, so right. Okay, so now our culture that we would have in Jerusalem, that now was absorbed into what Constantine was bringing from Rome, and the truth as we know it lived and died in caves with those brothers. Over time, they became fewer and fewer and fewer because, of course, nobody would choose to go learn in a cave and keep Passover in a cave when we could go to the church if we say Holy Mary, Mother of God.
Okay.
You get the point? Just like today, if I could, just like today, why do I have to wear all black when I could go be a faggot in purple?
Right.
You understand? Where's all black in the Bible when, so what?
No sweat, sir.
Oh, so
no sweat, sir. No ice.
No, this is the one.
Okay.
Right? It's the same way. It's like nature is the path of least resistance, regardless of whatever you're in. Right? You'll choose the path of least resistance. That's how things are. That's how you get electricity. That's how water flows. That's how everything is. Right? That's how people are. To be in truth, you're literally choosing the path of most resistance. You're choosing the hard road. Like how the song go, the harder way. I chose the harder way.
Right.
You're choosing the hard road. All right? And those brothers began to get fewer and fewer and fewer. And eventually, out of Constantine, you had Christianity.
Right.
Right? Around 446 AD, you had they started having councils, right? You had worshipping on Sunday because of the sun god. I think that was 446 AD. I might be wrong on the date. You had the Council of Nicene, right? Where full pagan rituals were married to the truth, right? From there, you have now Roman Catholicism coming out of it, all right? Because of Constantine, because of course, Rome's reach and the truth being weakened to what it was.
Right.
You get the point? Weakened, of course, because you're pulling people away where the choices being persecuted and, keeping everything in a cave versus living like a regular human being.
Right.
And, you could be accepted. You don't have to feel bad to grow a beard. Now you can shave your face and be told you're an Israelite.
Right.
You get the point?
All right.
That's what was happening here. So now this is where you start getting a lot of the foundation and the dogma of Christianity and Roman Catholicism.
Right.
Really, it was Roman Catholicism, right? Roman Catholic, I believe, means universal. So the religion makes you a universal Roman. Wherever you go, you can practice the culture of Rome. You can be a Roman. Right. You get the point? So now from that, of course, over time, you have the Protestant church, which started in England with Martin Luther. He was the first one, I believe, to start a breakaway and form, what did he form? The Anglicans? The Protestant church. I think from the Protestant church come the Anglicans. I think they come out of the Protestant church, not the Roman Catholic Church. The Anglican, your Pentecost, all your modern day Christian religions come out of the Protestant church with Martin Luther, with some white man, right? Some old monk or some kind of bullshit like that. So now that's your history of Christianity, right? Now, let's get a little bit on. Hold on. I'll give you a crash course tonight. What time? We're looking like time-wise.
7:45, sir.
Okay, definitely don't want to go past that. Anybody have Bible in Timbuktu? Oh boy. Kind of warriors I have here.
No, it's like sir.
Then they shooting with that we call that the musket. This is the musket gun. You don't have this, something's wrong.
Also, we have a question in the chat, sir.
Is it about Islam or Christianity?
Yup, come.
Is it somebody in the school?
Lie, sir.
Go ahead.
Salaki. Arnold Wilson says, Shalom. What do you think about the 5% nation?
If they're brothers, if they racially are the descendants of slaves, the people who in there, the physical people who in there are my brothers.
Right.
What they believe, of course, is not the truth. What they believe is a mishmash of Christianity, Islam, what is this, Freemasonry?
Yeah, sir.
I think that's just the main three. It's a mishmash of it that it doesn't help our people, right? It doesn't benefit our people. It is not the truth. It's not rooted in the truth. It hasn't effected any change nationally, right? Whatever change you experience in your little life, it doesn't balance the scale. It doesn't tip the scale. It doesn't compare to how we suffer as a people, right? So to even compare that, and this is not a disrespect to the guy because he ain't saying nothing disrespectful yet, but to even compare it to us as a nation is selfish. It's like you from the hood and you get drafted into the NBA. So now all of a sudden America is great when the rest of your nation suffer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the Moorish, it's Christianity.
Right.
It's Christianity, it's Islam, is all the same thing. It's worshiping the white man at the end of the day. It's following the devil. You get the point? It's not going against anything. It's, the difference between all religions and the truth is that the truth, religions tell you what you could do. the truth tells you we live our life based on what you cannot do.
That's right.
You understand? We based our life based on I cannot eat this.
Right.
I cannot drink this. I cannot marry this person. I cannot have sex with this person. I cannot do this on this day. I cannot do that. That's our whole life. Our whole life is no, like a little child.
Right.
No, 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 no. That's your life is here. Play with it. Oh, look at him. He's so grown.
Right.
Here, look, that's your life.
Right.
Our life is not that.
Right.
Our life is not that. It's a lot of restriction, which makes us more equipped to deal with life than every other religion. All right. Once again, the people in there are my brothers, but what they believe is of Satan.
Right.
All right. Come on.
If I may add to what you were saying,
Please.
With the 5% of the God-body nation.
Say again.
The God-body nation was all the 5% who was sort of birthed in New York, but they come from Philadelphia, which is the 13th or 7th chapel of Islam. So they believe in Allah. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with us.
That's what I say. It's Islam, but they have some Christianity in there somewhere. They for sure got some Christianity up in there. Go ahead.
It's like, sir, if I may, 5%ers, they sit up there and tell you that the white man is the devil, and then allow white people in the organization. Like the rapper MC Search that used to be with Third Base.
Right.
They made him take an A out of his name, like the regular word search, and it just be SERCH because the A stand for Allah. Since he's the white man, the devil, he can't represent Allah. But he's loud in there.
Yikes.
Just never forget. It's a miracle you're in here.
Yeah, God.
That's all. This never let a bad day. You know, we all have fucked up days. All right, we all have bad, horrible days.
God.
Never forget that there's somebody who believes the letter A could make a white man your brother.
Right.
And they commit their whole life to that. Their children, their women, everything to that.
Right.
And if Ronald Reagan comes to the door and his name is now Ur-Nammu Reagan, he could come in here because he removes the A out his name. So now he could come up in here with Oliver North and John Poindexter, and they could all come in here because they take the A out their name. No, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but if based on what he's saying now, there's people who believe that.
Right.
So whatever horrible day you having, just learn to be grateful for that type of problem.
Right.
Learn to be grateful for that type of problem.
Right.
Because the other shit is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So I hope that answered the brother question, all right?
Sir.
Go ahead.
We got another question, sir.
Good night.
On topic. Daniel Yapez, 45% of slaves was Muslims when they got here. Does that mean they was Canaanites?
No. That means the Arabs sold us into slavery.
Right.
That's what that means. The entire west coast of Africa is Muslim or Christian. Right. Nigeria is a Christian and Muslim nation.
Right.
Senegal is Muslim. Ghana, I believe, is more Christian than Muslim. Who else is there? Ivory Coast, Muslim and Christian. The other side, Kenya, Sudan, they're all Muslim. Does that mean they're Arabs? No, it just means the Arabs conquered that region. The Arabs had a hand in selling us into slavery, so of course we would adopt some of their customs. Right. Just like today, what percent of America is Christian? A large percent. Right. Does that mean we're white? No, it doesn't mean we're white. It just means that they put that whip to our back very good. Right. That's what it means. They were experts in whipping our backs to make us say, you know what? I'm going to try this God because that God gets me hurt. You know what I mean? And that's that. That's all that means, brother or sister, whoever it is, all right? Okay, good. Hold on the questions. Give me 5 minutes. Let me get through this, right? Boom. Okay. I'm gonna need somebody to read this quickly here for me. Page 45, 48. Barak, you got it? The Barak, he goes on up, all right? Hold on. You read 45 and then 48.
45 and 48.
45 and then 48. Only the highlighted portions, all right? Boom, go ahead, start. Quick history of Islam, then we going into what both of them believe. Just in case, let me just burst your bubble. I know you was tuning in to hear either me prove Christianity was better than Islam, or me prove Islam was better than Christianity. Good, you tuned in. I tricked you. Salakia, they're both trash. All right? At the end of the class, I'm going to explain to you what we need to do with them, though. But they're both trash. Islam versus Christianity versus Islam. Dog shit, bullshit.
Right.
Excuse for that. All right, go ahead.
The original black Jews, page 45. When Muhammad...
This is Babylon to Timbuktu, right? This is a, regular scholar, Rudolph Windsor. He did a lot of research. He did Valley of Dry Bones. Another one. What's another one he did? Not a famous one. I forget. But he have a good bit of scholarship in there. Some of the stuff he put in there is very Afrocentric. It's definitely not biblical. But some of the stuff he has in there is absolutely true. I'm gonna read some of it. Right. As in every history book, some stuff is not true.
Right.
Other stuff is.
Right.
All right. You have a scholar, you'll be able to tell you. I learned from them, so I can tell you.
Right.
Go ahead.
The original black Jews, page 45. When Muhammad was born, many Arabs was still worshiping the sun, stars, spirits, and idols.
Right. Now, this is a fact.
Right.
When Muhammad came into the earth, the Arabs knew nothing about Allah. So that A, in that day, MC Search could have keep the A in his name if he was born before Muhammad, all right? You know, the MC Search, no problem. Go ahead.
The Arabs. The Arabs.
Don't say Arabs. Yeah. They said the Arabs. You said old school Judites. The Arabs.
The Arabs.
I remember in school, the teacher said you can't say Arab, that's racist.
Right. Listen now. Sidebar, I don't want to take up no more time. I want you all to see come on, Johnny YAHANNA show.
Right.
I did a show, radio show with the brothers in the UK on Friday, right? They have a show called On the Ends on Friday.
Right.
And they was telling me how a few people have been getting fired on their slaveries for calling Pakistanis Pakis.
I seen it.
Right? And for the life of me, I don't understand it.
Right.
Because Paki is found in Pakistan.
Right.
If I say he's Afghani, he's from Afghanistan.
Right.
If I say he's an Aussie, Aussie is a normal phrase for somebody from Australia.
Right.
They call me Trini because I'm from Trinidad.
Right.
How in the hell Paki can be racist? You're a goddamn Paki.
Right.
What's your problem?
Right.
You're an Arab. If there's an A and a Rab.
Right.
God damn shit. You're so sensitive. God damn it, man. Go ahead.
The Arabs possess 360 idols.
Say it again.
The Arabs possess 360 idols.
So now, before Muhammad was born, Muhammad himself was from the houses of Ishmael.
Right.
He was not Israelite.
Right.
He did not come from Jacob. Right. He was from Ishmael. He was an Arab. Before Muhammad, there were over 360 different gods. Right. Damn near a god for each day of the year. Right. The Arabs they worship everything. Right. That's why. What does Aladdin ride on? That mat. That mat is a god.
Right.
That's why they have to carry it everywhere and bow down to it. They don't teach you that today, but that mat is a god. The camels is a god. The moon and the star is two gods. We're gonna go into that right here in a short second.
Right.
That's why they worship. We'll get into that. I don't want to jump ahead.
Okay.
But they have they used to worship everything. That's why modern Islam is so passive towards everything. You have to be one with nature. This it just flows. It's down there like some kind of Zen Buddhist thing. That's Arab. Because they have heathens worship creation. Give me that in Romans quick.
Okay.
Romans 1 and 25. Heathens worship creation. Read.
Good. One for each day of the year.
Mm.
In his youth, he was never taught to read or write.
Right? That's a proven fact, historical fact. Muhammad was illiterate. All right? He was not a scholar. He was illiterate.
Right.
Right? Which is how how Islam tends to get most brothers who come from the streets, who go to prison. You know, he was illiterate. He was just like me and you.
Right.
We don't have no education. And look what he did
Right.
to bring up to inspire people.
Come.
Nigga, I'll teach you to read. How about that? How about I just teach you to read?
Right.
You know what I mean? How about I just do that? That's like saying, he can't swim. Yeah, he can't swim, so we should just be, non-swimming niggas. Nigga, how about I just teach you to swim?
Right.
You know, as brothers in here, we done taught to read. Read. You know, brothers in here, we taught to speak. Go up and blaze at camp.
Right.
I'm talking about from, can't hardly be in class and say something to go up on the podium and rage.
Right.
Now, Muhammad, he was illiterate. Oh, snap, me too. Inshallah, brother. No, nigga, I'll teach you to read. That's all. So you can be better than Muhammad.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
I'll teach you to read. Right. All right, go ahead.
But his imagination was superlative.
Oh, say it again.
But his imagination was superlative.
Superlative.
Right.
Superlative.
Superlative.
You said it right. Superlative. It was his imagination. That's English for the English phrases for certain things. I forget what's the first thing. What do you call the first one? Like if you say good. What is good? I forget that one. Better is comparative.
Right.
Best is superlative. So like if you say something is like good, better, best, big, bigger, best.
Right.
I forget what the first one is. The second one is what they call comparative. The third one is superlative, meaning big, bigger. This one is bigger than this one. Is a comparison. But the biggest, it doesn't matter who else is there. It's superlative. It surpassed everybody. That nigga imagination was out of the effing world. It was, I can show you. It was that. His imagination was ridiculous. He couldn't read, of course. Grew up poor, Lord help him. All right, keep going.
Good. After Muhammad became a camel driver, he traveled.
Became what?
A camel driver.
A what?
A camel driver.
What are Arabs today in America?
A camel driver.
Taxi drivers. Cab drivers. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Taxi drivers. All right? That's what they do. All right, go ahead.
Come. He traveled to remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt.
Right? Now, a camel driver, in his case, it would be the people who would need the camels would be merchants. All right? Give me what you have. Somebody give me Jeremiah 3. 3 and 3.
So I got Romans 1 and 25.
Please. Give me Jeremiah 3 and 3. Or 3 and 6. Give me Arabian, by the way. Jeremiah 3. Go ahead, quick.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Right, that's what pagans do. Pagan is somebody who serves nature. Right, like, you heard of Baal? Baal was who? Who's Baal?
Muhammad, sir.
Slide circle, mate. That was the god of the Moabites.
No. But yes, but no.
He was a farmer, sir.
Baal wasn't yes. He was a farmer. Why does the term refer to the god Baal?
Because of the goat.
He was a successful farmer. What makes you a successful farmer?
Nature, the sun and the rain.
Sun and the rain. He was successful. He said, this is what makes me successful. So farmers in that time started praying to Baal, which over time became the god of the weather. weather god is Baal. Right? That's where they get that wind vane. All that's in the worship of Baal, because a farmer, what gives him what he wants is the sun and the rain. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have a good crop. He has to please the sun and the rain. You get the point? He prays to the sun and the rain. Give me something else. The same reason Egyptologists, the woman is God, because she gives him pleasure. You get the point? She gives him it's a pagan is somebody super carnal. So whatever gives them pleasure must be God. That's why the Arabs before Muhammad had a different God for each day of the year. Right. Because today, I might enjoy this drink. This drink is God. Right. This drink here is God. Right. Tomorrow, I might eat a hoagie from, not hoagie, what's the thing from Philly? Cheesesteak. I might eat a cheesesteak from Philly. Right. This must be God. You get the point? Right. That's them. Whatever satisfies them in that moment is God. Right. You get the point? Our God is a father. Nobody like when daddy around. Right. You get the point? Nobody like when daddy around. When them keys jiggle at the door, you just all of a sudden you gotta go in the next room now. All of a sudden, that's just how it is. Right? That's how the Lord made us. Save the water. Because you could be removing letters to let some heathen in your organization. Right. You get the point? Stand the Lord, make it like that. You set things in order. Everybody gonna be saved. Nobody gonna be no faggots, no whores. Right. No drugs gonna be in your house. No perks, no mollies. Right. You get the point? But they might like when you're around. Whatever. You get the point? Whatever. So keep reading.
God.
Okay, so now he drove his caravans, right? Merchants would take caravans to remote places because there was no metro. There was no Amtrak. There was no Amazon. There was no laser ship, if you know what that is. There was an Arab on a camel saying, my friend, I have this here. Right. See? Here. Right. I have this strange meat from something. Because the Arabs will always, give me Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 2. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lean with, and the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness.
All right. So this is the Lord chastising Israel, saying, "Look at you." Read verse 1.
Verse 1. So they say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played harlot with many lovers.
Right, so that's what he told us the first time. Right. In the first verse. Meaning, we done gone with every heathen god. Right. Let's check it today. In the early 80s or the late 80s, early 90s, Sunday evening after the movie theater let out, every brother was kicking over trash cans because you just watched the latest Kung Fu flick. Buddha be praised, right? A trash can was not safe in sight, because Buddha had to be prayed. Buddha, Wu-Tang Clan, right? So the 6 chambers, right? Liquid swords. It's worshiping Buddha. We all the way in Islam, we all the way in Christianity, we in Egyptology, we in the Moorish 5%ers, Scientology. Name me a religion. Rastafarianism. What else is there?
The dreads becoming popular culture, worshiping Shiva.
Well, that's Rastafarianism. Right? Give me something else. Give me another religion. Give me something else that's going on today. Baptists, Methodists. The Baptists put burning crosses on your front lawn, we become Baptists. Like, we tried every single god, like a hoe who laying with, like the Lord is asking, look out there. Tell me who you haven't had sex with. That'd be easier. Right. Like we were such a whore to the Lord, you know, it would be, just tell me who you was with. Him, and him. That's it? 3? All right, cool. For this slut here, it's easier if you tell me who you did not have sex with. Right. That's what the Lord is telling us, because that's how much we went after the other nations. Right. Read verse 2 again.
Come. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places.
He said, no, look on the high places. Look around. Look everywhere. Go ahead. All the powerful places. Right. Powerful empire, powerful kingdoms. Go ahead.
Let's see where thou hast not been lean with.
Right, that's what I just explained, right? I just broke down. You had that rapper Lupe Fiasco. Where is he right now? Anybody know? You remember Lupe Fiasco, right? Kick, push, back rapper. Nigga in China with a whole out kimono sword and the whole getup with these shoes. He moved to China. He always was fascinated with China. Get the point? What's his name? Dave Chappelle, Muslim with a Chinese wife.
Right.
Eddie Griffin, Chinese woman.
Right. Just
now, Young Jeezy gonna be telling you about Polynesia or whatever the hell he married. That thing he done married. Right. That old sideways box thing. you don't know where it comes up. You get the point? That's what's going on with us. Go ahead.
In the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness.
Right? In the ways. Just like the whore will sit in the way, meaning be on the street, on the strip, where she could be seen like an Arabian in the wilderness.
Right.
Because the Arabs were always known as merchants. They would always sit by the street side and sell you something. Hey, my friend, come try this. Hey, my friend. You go certain places. I'm familiar with it because it's down in the same culture in the Caribbean with markets and certain streets you go on. Somebody who's selling oil. You walk in, you just feel somebody rub something on you. And it's like, what the hell is this? Smell good, smell. You young, you think, let me get some. No, I'm not liable to assault you because what the hell you just rub on me?
Right.
What the hell is this shit?
Right.
Huh? Give me a free one instead. Don't do that shit. But that's what they do. Just rub something on you. Yeah, try this. Here, take that. Because that's how they sell. Right? The Arabs were always merchants. They were always into commerce, which is why they are the way they are.
Right.
The dollar is what matters, and that's it. All right, let's get some more.
Keep reading the scripture, sir.
No. I think that's it. Come
on. Transacting business with merchants of every kind.
See? That was the Arab way. Go ahead.
On his business trips, he met Jews, Christians, and members of other sects.
Right. Does it say that when he was born, what year?
When Muhammad was born? Mm-hmm. That was above on the last, sir. You read that one?
Yeah, please.
Okay, it's not highlighted.
No sweat.
Muhammad was born AD of 570.
Right. Somewhere around 570.
Right.
570 AD was around 600 years after Christ. There was no Quran.
Right.
There was no Islam. You understand? There was no Allah.
Right.
You get the point? It was the genie, the lamp, the sun, the moon, the camel, the sand, the water, the carpet, and about 300 and something other gods they would worship.
Right.
There was no Allah. There was no Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, the blah, blah, blah. There was no Allah. Right? There's none of that bullshit. All that shit was not in existence. All right? That was not there. 600 years after Christ.
Right.
Go ahead.
570, 4 years after the death of Emperor Justinian, he was descended from the tribe of Koresh and the family of Hashem.
All right, skip down to, that's good, gave you his lineage. Just skip down to where he was before.
Come. He integrated them concerning the tenets of their religions.
Skip up before that one.
Come. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt, transacting business with merchants of every kind. On his business trips, he met Jews, Christians, and members of other sects.
Right, he met Jews, Christians, and members of other sects. So this is after he is now, the Arabs is just there, Middle East, and then they would be going back and forth in that area, Northern Africa, Eastern Africa, and the Middle East. You get the point? They'll be going back and forth.
Right.
We already ran from Jerusalem into Africa.
Right.
So he's meeting the Jews. He's also meeting the Christians who survived after Constantine.
Right.
Remember, it's the Christians survived Constantine when he allowed them to keep some of the culture and take on some of the Roman culture. The Jews believe in one God. Because of Constantine, the Christians believe in one God. Before Constantine, what did the Romans or the Christians believe in?
They believed in Zeus, the Parthenon, and all
Right? They had the Roman pantheon. It's a whole ton of different gods. Right. From the Greek gods to the Egyptian gods with just different names. Right? It was because of the Jews, everybody learned the concept of one God. Right? Christians as well. Go ahead.
Because he could not read or write, his ears were attentive and keen to everything that the Jews related to him.
Of course. So now, because he can't, read, he learned to listen. Right. Which is good. He better learn to listen. You know what I mean? Give me some ice in this here.
Double cut, sir.
All right, go ahead. Quickly.
Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jewish religion and compounded it with his new religion, Islam.
All right. So he took it as he's going through. Remember, this ain't going to Baltimore for the day and coming back home. This ain't going to Philly, Delaware, Richmond for the day and coming back home. Right. This is you go down there, you got to stay about a few months because whatever you spent to get there, you had to make it on the street selling. And you had to make a profit before you could get back because you have a family back there to feed. Okay. So now you living amongst people. This high holy day is going to be kept. There's, you're seeing the culture, you're seeing how it's taught, you're seeing the way how the women interact, the children are, the men interact. You picking up things. Just from the scripture says in the Apocrypha, much wisdom is gained in travel. Right. A traveling man gains a ton of wisdom because of his travel. Because you stay in one city, you familiar with just the block or wherever you stay. When you go somewhere else, you know how to learn the new culture, the new way to talk, the new language, the new way to dress. Now you're going to have a ton of wisdom. He started gaining stuff from really the Jews. All right? And from there, that's how he adopted the whole concept of one God. Read that part.
Read the second part, sir.
That part where he said he adopted the concept of one God.
Islam and Judaism. The Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jewish religion. First of all, the basic idea of monotheism, which is
monotheism,
which is the belief in one God. The Jewish confession of the unity of God is Shema Israel Adonai.
Yeah, that's Yiddish, right? Because of course he is Rudolph Windsor. What he is writing in terms of Jewish culture, even though he has the recorded history of the Jews being black, the language he has there is the Yiddish, right? But that what he's saying there is Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Somebody pull it. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. That's Shammai. What is it?
He says Shema Israel Adonai Elohim.
Right there. That's it. Shema Yashala Yahweh Elohayna Yahweh Akkad, which is listen, O Israel, the Lord our power is one. Is one. All right. Who are it?
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them.
No, that's not it. What is it? 6 and 4?
Here, Israel, the Lord.
No, it's in the Bible. That exact scripture is in the Bible.
It's
Go ahead.
So, sir, if I may. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Right. He heard us saying that.
Right.
Now imagine the type of place we have to be where we say we have one God. Right. We have one God. You get the point. If you hear a woman constantly saying, I got a man, what's the environment she's in?
She's in an environment where men are pushing up on her.
Men are pressing her. Right. So if now he hears us say, listen, Israel, we have one God. Right. As he traveling, listen, Israel, we got one God. Listen, Israel, we have one God. Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Right. What's that telling you about the environment?
Basically that they're pushing their gods in their culture on us.
And everybody else had how many gods?
More than one God.
Right. You get the point? The fact that we have to say we have one God, right. Everybody else has more than one God, right. And they try to get us to worship them gods. Just like Thursday, they're going to have pumpkins. Right. You get the point? Watching one of my daughters in school today, I noticed her just gazing. I said, what the hell is going on? I got ready to just go off. She said, they're talking about Halloween. I was like, what? I said, leave the class. The next class she goes in 45 minutes, that teacher asking her, did you leave the last teacher's class? I'm like, in my mind, like, these motherfuckers slack. They want me to just get on there and curse them out so they can film me and put me on the internet launching out. How is that making a child pass anything?
Right.
And why do you care if I left?
Right.
You know, school's not about pumpkins and goddamn candy, dummy. Teach or let the girl go.
Right.
But they want to push their gods on us.
Okay.
They want to push their gods on us. And of course, because of the Christian church, most of these goddamn dumbass teachers think some of these children have no fathers in the house.
Right.
The minute the father get on there, okay, I gotta go. No, you don't want to talk to no man now. You don't want to know. That energy is too hostile for your dumbass.
Right.
Anyway. All right. Any more on that?
After the scripture.
That's it.
No, sir,
I tell you who he married. Okay. So Muhammad envied our solidarity. No, there's some more. When he tried to get us to follow him, we didn't do it, and that's when they started killing us. That's where you get the whole term submit to Allah. It's supposed to be right there. See the finds, all right? Let me give you some more. He married Fatima. Fatima was the daughter of some rich man, extremely wealthy. I believe Fatima was like 9 years old or some shit like that. God.
No.
Damn.
6 years old.
I just recently learned that in 1885, UK made a law that it was now a felony to have sex with a child between 10 and 12. Before, the felony was under 10.
Good night.
These mamas,
Good night.
they are, because this came up because in the UK, a politician, what do you call them, politician, like representative or whatever, is petitioning the parliament to lower the age of consent from 16 to 13. And they cite a time in 1885 when that's when they made it 13.
Right.
And they raised it from 13 to 16. So before, you could have had sex with a girl who was 10. And this is what they said. The minute she was at childbearing age, that means you could have sex with her. Who says that?
Sound like GMS to me.
Say it again. Listen, having sex with young girls is a heathen thing.
Right.
Rape is also heathen. You could go look it up right now on the internet. Indonesia, I think Thailand does it, Singapore, and that's the culture around there where the marriage is you see the girl, you get your homies, you pull up in the car and you kidnap her. You just pull her in the car and then you drive somewhere and you do the marriage ceremony and she crying, she don't want to do it, but once that's done, the parents allow it. That's the culture, to kidnap the girl, the whole caveman knock her over the head. It's not, I'm not making this shit up. Seducing a woman is Israelite.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, I mean, seducing a woman, putting on some glorious, like how Barack looking named black. You think black is a boring color, Barack make black look excited, make it look superlative. Barack make black look superlative. Seducing a woman is a black man's thing.
Right.
The others, practices it in mind all the time. I got to see it. The other nations, their culture is if she young enough and weak enough that I can hold her down, let's do it. Right. Let's do it. Even till this day, sidebar, the heathens always like their woman to look like a young boy. They prefer that skinny, ironing board back broad versus a woman. Right. A woman with, shocks and springs and a chassis and struts. A brick house. They don't want that brick house. You understand? They don't want that thing. You get the point? So that's Muhammad, right? It tells you it's in there. You found the part I'm talking about?
Come, so it's on what you was talking about. Come.
Go ahead.
Come. Trying his best, Muhammad sought to convert the Jews to his new religion, but to no avail. Right,
which is how Islam always is.
Right.
Listen, brother, don't you know about Islam? Don't you know this? Don't you know that? They're always trying to convert you even till this day. Go ahead.
The Jews were adamant and resistant to change.
Once you resist the approach of a Muslim with Islam, go ahead.
the high esteem which the prophet held for the Jews was transformed to an enmity.
Right. Islam never goes to, and not just Islam. I know the section with Islam seems a little bit long, but I think everybody understands Christianity a little more. So I just did the history of Christianity. But Islam and every other religion lust after celebrities. That's why Muhammad Ali was so valuable to Islam. You understand? That's why Tyson was so valuable to Islam. You understand? Show me the Arab boxer. Show me the Arab float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He don't exist. But Muhammad Ali, Boumaye, is so valuable because, of course, you see him and you respect him and you're enamored with him. Just like how they are here. They enamored with us. They see how we are and we powerful and we are thriving society. In that book, it tells you when we went into Africa, we created a society that was better than the Africans. And we were thriving more than the Africans. So now imagine he's traveling, seeing that. You know, these is Hamites, they ain't doing so well. But these Jews here, something about them, if I could only get them to follow me. Now you admire them, and then they say, nah, we have one God. And you reject him. Do you think? Reject him, he in his feelings now. Now he told in feelings. Go ahead.
And instead of allies, he looked upon them as competitors.
Competitors, because he just want everybody to follow him. Once again, his imagination was superlative. Superlative, right? He want everybody to follow him. Go ahead.
Muhammad needed the confirmation of the influential Jews to validate his mission.
Of the what kind of Jews?
Of the influential Jews.
What kind of Jews?
Influential.
We still influencing the world. We was influencing the world back then, and we still influence the world right now. Let Gucci see that suit. Think I'm lying? They start putting studs on this stuff a few years ago. After we start, I remember when Commander YAHANNA said, "Now I want to see more studs, more this, more that." And brothers was coming up with studs, brother. Everything studded, boots, everything was studded up. All of a sudden, I see Louis Gucci and Prada and them putting studs on this shit. Fringes, you know, bringing back the fringes, bringing back the whole thing. Come on.
Even the tent, they put the rhinestones in the tent.
See, we influence everything. Everything. Somebody sent me an article the other day how some white people were saying how the sisters who in the hip hop, you know, the Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion is cheating in the brand, the Birkin bag and this and that. And Cardi B, listen, you can say what you want about that, bro, but she more righteous than half them bitches out there. I'm telling you why. I ain't saying she a wholesome girl, but she understands she makes mistakes and she went back to her husband. She deserves a hand for that. She a trifling little, you know, nastiness herself. But she ain't gonna suck another nigga off or jump on another broad. Another nigga, all broad. She said, I miss him, I want him. She said, listen, what the hell y'all talking about? When I did this and I said, you know, Balenciagas and, you know, this, that, the other, their stock went up and they came to me. Black people add value to your brands. Y'all telling us are wrong now and acting like we destroying your brands. That's not the truth. Y'all come to us to make your brand big. And she talking the truth. What's the brother in New York? Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan made what, Gucci and them who they are. Before Dapper Dan, nobody was wearing Gucci. You see Gucci designs today? It looked like homeless people clothes. It looks straight up like homeless people clothes. But of course, we are the influential people of the entire world. And back then, we were the very influential Jews. Muhammad needed us to co-sign what he was telling his own people to give up their 300 gods for this one God. Because we make one God look fly. You understand? Just like we make the ghetto look fly. We make projects look fly. We make food stamps look fly. We make what else? WIC, TANF. What else we have? Come on, give it to me. Baby mamas look fly. Baby daddy. Poor neighborhoods. We make give me something else, man. Come on. Lean. We make lean look. We make everything look fly. See, we make we make everything look fly as hell. We take it and we flip it and make it look fly. Muhammad needed us to do that because he couldn't sell one God. One. You had one job, nigga. Let me move on. Salaki. Time is good. I worry.
I was gonna even say even certain alcohols, like they need black faces to try to put.
Listen, every alcohol. Tell me what. Name me one alcohol black facing son. No, you can't name it because they're not that good. The good ones is niggas on there. You get the point? There's black people on there. Always, you need black people to make things move.
Right.
You get the point? Anyway, that's enough. Okay, keep reading. When I tell you, he take up our arms.
Just a little bit more. Of the influential Jews to validate his mission, as all upstarts need the backing of someone influential.
Oh boy, he called him an upstart. Rudolph, my kind of line. False. He's an upstart.
Right.
Go ahead.
Muhammad therefore turned against the Jews and became their tormentor.
All right, go ahead. You say anything about submit with the sword? It's somewhere there. What page you on?
That was the end of 48, going on to 49 now.
It's somewhere there. It might be on another page, 51, 52. But I could skip it for now. If you find it, just let me know. But it tells you he started now to make everybody submit, but the submission was the sword.
Right.
You ever hear Islam means to submit is a religion of peace? That's bullshit. It's a religion of join Islam, I'm gonna beat you up. That's why they send the biggest nigga to talk to you in prison.
Right.
Get the point? That's why they come to you peacefully on the street. And you disagree with them, now we want to fight.
Right.
You understand? It's not a peaceful religion. It's submit to violence.
Right.
That's all it is. All right, go ahead.
Sorry, sir, if I may. The name Abdullah, I think it's submit to the will of Allah, something like that. So it's,
I don't know.
Abdullah.
I know
what you're talking about. I heard that before. I think it's Abdul, something like that. He's I think.
Who he's supposed to be?
It means to submit to
just the
to
name.
Allah.
It's just always submission.
It's just like the name, the definition of the name.
Man, Abdul gonna do what the hell I tell him to do in the kingdom.
That's right.
You understand? Right now, Abdul is in 7-Eleven.
Right.
That's what it means.
Right.
That's what the hell it means. Slurpee and hot dogs. You understand? That's what Abdul means. Slurpee and hot dogs. And once again, this is not a disrespect to my brothers who are in Islam.
Right.
This is a disrespect to Islam and the Arabs because they are not my brothers.
That's right.
You get the point? Okay, boom. So that's what happened with Muhammad. When Muhammad died, right, there was a split in the kingdom. So now Muhammad started pushing together the Arab world into this one God.
Right.
Right? Bit by bit, inch by inch, he started going and telling them about this one God. He tried to influence them the best way he could. That's why if you check prominent Arabs who are well-known or, speakers, they always try to talk like niggas. I don't know if you remember, there was a boxer from UK called Amir Khan. Nobody know him? Amir Khan got brothers from Brooklyn to train him. Came in the ring, playing hip-hop, dancing and shaking and doing all kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? A little skinny Arab that,
Oh, yeah.
Prince Hassim.
Yeah.
Right.
Prince Hassim, Amir Khan. Prince Hassim, right? This nigga, Prince Hassim what, nigga? Where's your genie? Where's your goofy? He was trying to be a nigga. That's who he was trying to be.
Right.
He was trying to be black. They take on our culture to become popular. You get the point? Because they, the real way of Islam is them like them ayatollahs and them. Right. Like how they so strict and staunch about something. They don't have style. They don't have flavor. They don't have that thing the Lord gave. It's just like the Christian. They don't have that thing. They're dry. They just, they lack flavor. They lack that thing to make you be like, I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but I should look fly. Yeah. Y'all niggas crazy, but you always some fly ass garments. Right. Go ahead.
I was watching this thing in China. There's two booming cultures coming up. One is the rope chains and the Adidas in China, and the second one is the Mexican style, the button-up shirt.
I was just about to tell you that. Them Japhites, the Samoans, somebody else, the Polynesians, they take on I.S.U.P.K culture so strong, you will mistake one of them heathens for an I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You understand? Until they start to talk.
Right.
And they don't have that, they don't have that extra, they don't have that.
Until they take off the shades.
Until they take off the shades and they see the Pacquiao. You see the Pacquiao, yeah. When they take off the shades, it's a costume.
Yeah.
But when they take off that shit, it's Pacquiao. So the right going left and the left going right. It's Manny. You get the point? Let me get back on topic because before the time go, right? So Muhammad tried to put them together. Now he built this empire, right? Which was Islam, Muslim world, majority one God.
Right.
When he died, there was a huge split. Anybody knows the split?
The Sunni and the Shiite.
The Sunni and the Shiite. Who was who?
If I may, sir, the Shiite were the more devout ones who followed after what Muhammad taught.
Okay, both of them was ridiculously devout. But go ahead.
That still maintained the whole one God thing, like Muhammad was trying to do.
A little bit more. Anybody else? All right, we'll get it for time's sake, right? The Shiite was the bloodline of Muhammad. Right? That was his family.
Right.
The Sunni was his top-ranking men and students, right? And their descendants. Right? So essentially, it's really his school versus his house. If to put in our terms, right? The hierarchy he built professionally versus the hierarchy he built in his family, which is what happens with people in the world. Just think about you die and you in charge of a company. Who won the company? Your CEO and your mommy.
Right.
That's it. That's the Shiite and your Sunni. All right? So then after that, now you had all the Crusades and blah, 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 blah. And then, come on.
The Shiite was his family, you said?
The Shiite was the bloodline of Muhammad. The Sunni was his professional hierarchy. All right? If I'm mixing it up, you could correct me for sure. But that's as far as the notes I have. All right? Boom. So now you have all the other stuff happening. Islam make it over here, just like Christianity made it. Right. And we all caught up in the same thing. Right? Right. No, I can't leave that up. Okay, Muhammad, right? Immaculate Conception, Christmas, God's chosen people. Any more questions?
Not live, sir. Not right now, sir.
Oh, you don't know what's up. Good.
So like I do have a question of time at the end of class, but it is not related to topic.
All right. I'll get it. Once again, your checkout Commander Journey YAHANNA show. Show tonight, 9 p.m. Kazak, please post this in the chat and go to chat. Just the link. Just put 9 p.m. on the link. You can pull it up. Just go to YouTube. Go to his channel. The link is already there. It's already set for 9 p.m. Just post it. You'll go check it out, right? Even if the class go on, you'll still go check it out. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Because, boy, it's damn near like he gonna find the Wizard of Oz tonight and pull the curtain back out and show you the wizard and the Wicked Witch of the West. That broad Amy Coney Barrett, brother, she goes home and takes her skin off at night and hands it up. I guarantee you. Brother, listen, I'm just warning you. Go listen to the show tonight, all right? Okay, let me get somebody pull up. Google the stela of Ur-Nammu. The stela of Ur-Nammu. Ur-Nammu. All right. Somebody also pull up. This had to be a little old school. I ain't see this anytime modern. There was a Mickey Mouse movie where he was the wizard. It was a Disney movie where he and the wizard thing.
Fantasia.
That's the name of it? Oh, God. I thought I was saying. That's a lie. All right. Pull up that image. Pull up the Washington Wizards image as well. All right, on your phones, okay? Give me stela of Ur-Nammu quickly. I how to do it for time's sake.
Ur-Nammu founded the Sumerian third dynasty of Ur in southern Mesopotamia.
Mm-hmm. There's that damn word again.
Following several centuries of academium and Gothic rule, his main achievements was state building in Ur-Nammu is chiefly reverted today.
Read it from the top again, huh?
Ur-Nammu founded the Sumerian third dynasty of Ur.
Right. Ur-Nammu was found in the Sumerian third dynasty of Ur. Ur was what? Anybody knows? Let's get somebody else. Come on.
Sorry about me. Ur was Chaldea.
But what is Ur?
Babylon.
It's in Babylon. What is Ur?
Ur was a man.
City.
Oh, God.
City. Ur of Chaldeans, like DC of America.
God.
Right? It was, you remember the Chaldeans was whose people? Abraham's people. That's why the Lord told Abraham, leave them there. They're crazy. Come forward, the one true God.
Right.
The stele, you reading the stele of Ur-Nammu or just Ur?
I'm just feeling hurt.
Pull up the stele of Ur-Nammu. All right, I'm going to pull it up on my phone. If any messages come across there, do not read them. You should just ignore them. I don't want to do it. I shouldn't do it. Hold on. All right. The stele of Ur-Nammu. Stele is S-T-E-L-E. I'll read it for time's sake. Nobody find it yet? The stele of Ur-Nammu, right? The Ur-Nammu stele represents the rule of King Ur-Nammu, who was the founder of the third Sumerian dynasty in southern Mesopotamia, which is believed to have been in what is now modern Iraq. All right? I need a time for that. Ur-Nammu reigned in 2112 BC to 2095 BC. How much years is that? 12 and 5 is what? 17? So he reigned about 17 years, right? 2,000 years before Christ, right?
Right.
You'll understand that, right? It's BC.
Right.
Go to images of the stele of Ur-Nammu.
So like I got a time frame for the image. I got 1792 to 1750 BC.
Look for the reign of King Ur. Right, that's the image of the stele. It's a little bigger than that. Look for a bigger one. A stele is like a tablet with a carving in it that is an illustration. Right, you just look at that S-T-E-L-E, stele of Ur-Nammu. All right. Now, when you read it, it tells you. You see it yet? 2000.
I got 2112 BC.
Right.
2095 BC.
Right. So that's it. This is 2,000 years before Christ. Anybody? You pull it up on your phones yet? The stele. Okay. What do you see?
I see a moon. I see a man sitting down with I don't know if that's a man or woman. I see a moon and some kind of
a moon. What does it look like?
It looks like the Islam.
It's a star, right? It's not the star that you used today with the 5 points,
right? Because
this thing, it has so many points to signify how bright it is, like how a star shines bright. This is the stele of Ur-Nammu, because like tell me if it's on the camera proper. Right, that's the stele. This is supposed to. Since you can pull it up on your phone too, you might be able to see it better. Stele of Ur-Nammu. S-T-E-L-E-U-R-N-A-M-M-U. All right. It's supposed to. It's a stele showing the temple of that this king ruled. This king was in rulership. This King Nammu was in rulership. It's showing you his holy place. There's a ladder where he goes up, and then there's the priest there. And then there's a priest on the top level worshiping the moon and the star.
Right.
You understand? They were worshiping the moon and the star in Chaldeans, in Babylon.
Right.
You get the point? Long before Muhammad. Long before that. The name, anybody knows the name of this moon and star? They have a name. They got a name because they're gods. Ningal and Nana. Ningal and Nana is the name of the moon and the star. All right? Why did they worship the moon and the star, the Arabs?
Because they were merchants. And so,
break it up.
Because the Arabs were historically merchants, they would usually travel by land or by ship. And so a lot of people that travel by ship use the stars.
That's true. That's true. There's another reason.
I have a question. Can I ask a question? Oh, Salaki, I might be off on the time frame, right? But the Native Americans that came over here to the Americas, and they started worshiping the suns and the sun and the stars all out above. Could this be a part of why saying the Lord was angered with it? Like this, did they start worshiping that based off of what we talking about right now?
Not based off the Chaldeans. They didn't leave at this time. I think they left a little later.
So the reasoning,
the reason is because once you leave the Lord, you become carnal. Right. That's the reason. So now the great wind, which brings cool breeze. Right. The morning sun, which shines on the crops. Big cloud bringing big rain. Right. The deer, which I get my meat. The totem pole is all them animals that they benefit from. Right. Once you leave the Lord, you get carnal. Carnal. You just living for pleasure now. Yeah. Once you leave the Lord, that's just it. Furthermore, it tells you in the Apocrypha, I believe it's in Baruch, the Lord did not give us to the nations for our destruction. It was for our punishment because we sinned against it. Okay. The 9.5 tribes were never supposed to leave. Okay. They were supposed to serve out their punishment. Them leaving was like breaking out of prison. Right. Okay. You understand? You can't seek freedom by breaking out of prison. Right. Do your time. Right. That's what the general was breaking down last Thursday and across the line. And then GMS faggots look at it and they don't understand what he was saying. God. He was saying, don't look for your release date. Right. Do your time. Yeah, God. Don't let the time do you. Don't wake up every day and be like, oh man, when this will be over, when this will... Don't do that. That's what Ezra was doing with the angel. Right. And the angel had to check him and say, listen, man, every generation gets a burden. This is your burden. Right. Because Ezra was like, why was I born in this time to see this? Every generation has a burden that they can handle. Maybe you couldn't handle being on a plantation, right, picking cotton. Maybe you'd have killed yourself. Right. So now somebody else had to be born there. You had to be born now to witness Eric Garner, to witness Sandra Bland. That's what you could handle. Right. You couldn't be in the 60s with German shepherds and them. That was another generation. Right. Every generation has the burden they could handle. Stop being a bitch and do your time. Right. That's it. That's it. You get the point? That's it. It's just life. Just do your time, man. It's gonna be over when it's goddamn over. Oh God. It's gonna be over. That's the old school saying. When it's coming, when we get there is when we get there. Right. When it come. When it reach. When I know you'll know. Right. It's old school. It's just the way to do things. You get the point? Okay. Somebody out there, Anna? Come on.
So no, yeah, I almost forgot it. If I may, like you said, it was like breaking out of prison. So when the kingdom had split, right, and the northern tribe was getting out of captivity underneath the Assyrians. Mm-hmm. That was considered the breaking out of prison part you're talking about?
That's the prison part.
Okay.
To back it up more, since you bring it up, they should have never split. That king, I always mix them up with Jeroboam and Rehoboam because of the familiarity names. One was the king of the northern kingdom. One was the king of the south, which was Solomon's son. Now forget which one is which. You'll just remind me if you'll figure it out, right? Jeroboam, Rehoboam. The one who was in charge of the north should have never defected from Judah. He should have made the 9.5 tribes submit to Solomon's rule. However, the Lord punished Solomon for his sin with marrying them stinking heathen women. Right. So this was the curse. This was the punishment. This was the Lord. That's why the Lord said, I will not take the kingdom from you, but I'll take it from your son. Right. That's how the Lord is. Imagine you do somebody wrong and say, I ain't gonna do nothing to you, but that child you got, I'm gonna destroy that child. Right. You are going to be crushed, right, for the rest of your life. Oh, God. That's how the Lord is. That's the type of man he is. You get the point? Right. That's why Noah cursed Canaan when Ham made fun of him naked. You don't know what I'm talking about? When he was drunk? You see, he cursed Canaan. He said, oh, you're going to laugh at your father?
Right.
Now your son is going to hate you because he going to wonder why his life is so effed up. It's because of you.
Right.
You understand? That's what we call gangster.
Right.
That's gangster. Ain't no sweat. It's gangster. You ducking me, no problem.
Yeah.
Daddy. Don't worry.
Rehoboam was Solomon's son.
Rehoboam was Solomon's son. Jeroboam was king of the northern tribes.
Yeah,
That's what it was. It was just the Lord taking the kingdom from Solomon, from the legacy of Solomon.
Right.
You get the point? They went into the Assyrian captivity, served Assyria. They said it tells you in the Bible or the Apocrypha, I forget which one. They said they took counsel amongst themselves, which means their leaders counsel, and said, since we in captivity, let us leave this place, go search for a land of our own where we could serve the Lord. Their intention was not to worship totem poles. Right. Their intention was not to worship the big, great wind and the great spirit. They wanted to find a land which turns out to be America, which is Arsareth in Apocrypha. Right. They wanted to find a land and keep the Passover and keep the law. Right. Well, you can't do that. You gotta go to Jerusalem to do that. Right. You get the point? You can't do that. And which is just a compact. Say again.
So you gotta finish your bid.
You gotta finish your bid. But what I was going to bring out, that's true. What I was going to bring out is that you could use it for parallel to your life, because every great decision you have when you counsel with yourself, always to you is like, this is the work of the Lord.
Right.
When you're just full of Satan.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you from experience, Aki. All right, I'm telling you from experience. I was nigga, you full of Satan. Jeremiah will tell you that. You'd be like, who are you talking to? You get the point? That's it. That's it. They thought they could have gone somewhere and served the Lord. It's in the Bible. You can't have two Passovers. Right. This happened before too. I think in the time of Joshua, where Reuben led a revolt against Joshua's rule and was going to keep a feast somewhere. I believe Joshua sent a message saying, the scriptures say there's one altar in Israel. If you erect another one, there will be one by sundown. Meaning, we is going to roll on you on that altar. Right. And they did not do it. They did not do it. Right. You can't go create another truth. Right. You can't go create another Israel. You can't go create another school, another nation. Even if the Lord is mad with us and destroys everything, there's still one. That's right. One truth, one faith, one baptism, one West. Right. You can't go create something else. That's not biblical. Right. You could find that everywhere. Plenty of people try to go and do their own thing and got destroyed. Let me get back on topic, all right? Nana is the monolith. Come on.
I got some information on Nana.
Please.
Nana is the moon god, later called Sin by the Babylonians and Assyrians.
Right.
The firstborn of Enlil, an all-powerful air god, and his consort, Ninlil, Lady Air.
How Air having a baby? If Air has a child, I want to know who fucking her. Who puts it around on the air so the air can have a child? Well, goddamn! That's Ningala Nana. Right. Nana is the moon, Ningala is the star. I'm gonna just keep going just for time's sake, all right? It's 8:53. I want to be wrapped up. All right. Ningala Nana, moon and star, right? So that's where we are now. We have Islam, Christianity. Right. In short, Immaculate Conception is a lie. Right. Both Christians and Muslims believe in Immaculate Conception. They believe sex with a spirit is clean, but sex with a man is dirty. Woman, don't be simple. There's only one way to get clean. Rod from a man. Right. Your man, and only yours, and don't go have sex if you're married with somebody else's man. You get the point? If you're single, of course, you get yourself a husband and keep that one brother. Right. But sex with a man does not make you dirty. both religions teach that
Right.
Immaculate Conception is real. Immaculate Conception is a lie. Give me Jeremiah 23:5. Anybody was holding anything else for me?
You was done off the Babylon, right?
Huh?
You was done off Babylon and Timbuktu?
Please.
No, so you was done off.
Yeah, please.
The water.
I'm saying please for a reason. This is my third Babylon to Timbuktu.
It's a lie.
The last two, that's how they got away from me. Brother was reading it and where the hell is that book? God damn. Go buy another one.
Jeremiah 23:5, sir.
Please give me Jeremiah 23:5.
Book of Jeremiah.
Hold on, give me one in Matthew 1:21 next. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch.
Stop right there. Once again, Commander Johnny Hanna live at 9 p.m. Y'all go check it out, Commander Johnny Hanna on YouTube. Go click the link. You're going into that judge tonight, brother. I'm telling you, that judge is the wicked witch of the West.
Right.
I guarantee you that, brother, you will see something tonight that will make you think your life is a cartoon.
Right.
And this is happening right now, real time. That brother was just here, visiting the White House, getting sworn in by Clarence Thomas III. I want to know who was the first one because that nigga there. That nigga there, boy. Yeah. Yeah, go back in time. Back to the Future with Marty and the teacher and the professor or the scientist and find Clarence Thomas the first and tell him in the future your son will be a cool.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Come. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
Right. A king shall come from David who will rule. Right. He has to come from David's seed. Right. This king, this is a prophecy of Christ. Christ had to come from the seed of David. That's what it says right there.
Right.
I will raise up a righteous branch, meaning coming from the root, which is David.
Right.
Like the root of a tree, the tree grows and then a branch comes out. That branch comes from the root.
Right.
Metaphorically, how does this branch come from David? Through the seed of David. Right. David had a son who had a son who had a son who turned out to be this king. That king is Christ. Matthew 1:21.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right. Skip me up to 19.
Verse 19. Then Joseph, her husband, being just...
Because I hold Wisdom of Solomon 7. Chapter 1. Go ahead.
Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not willing to make her a public example, was...
No, skip me to the seed of Jesse. Tell them one-on-one. Give me one-on-one quick.
Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
Right? The generation of Jesus Christ was given him his lineage.
Right.
The history of his lineage. All right? The son of who?
The son of David.
Right? That's the branch that comes from the root David. Go ahead.
The son of Abraham.
The son of Abraham. Christ was also... Who was the son of Abraham?
Isaac.
Christ was Isaac in the reincarnation. Go ahead.
Abraham begat Isaac.
Right? Abraham begat Isaac. Isaac was Yahushua. It says Christ was the son of Abraham. All right? Skip me to verse 6.
Verse 6. And Jesse begat David, the king. And David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Uriah.
All right. So every now and then, as you go through this lineage, it's going to mention a woman in here. The Christians teach you that this woman means she didn't have sex with the man and brought forth that baby, which is a lie. It just tells you that because these were certain notable circumstances historically, and these women were prominent in that time. You get the point? Of course, you know, this was, what's her name? Bathsheba, right? Lord help him. Bathsheba was a bad sister, brother. David overcame with lust, murdered Uriah, and took Bathsheba. The Lord punished him for that by taking that child from Bathsheba. He killed that child. Right? David got his punishment for doing that evil thing. But from Bathsheba, Solomon came. Right? That's why it's saying this here. David, the son of Jesse, begat Solomon of the wife of Uriah. It's mentioned in there because that's what happened. All right? David had sex with Bathsheba.
Right.
Not the Holy Spirit. All right? 16.
Verse 16. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary.
And Jacob begat who?
Joseph, the husband of Mary.
So this whole lineage is all the way from Jacob, right? Jacob had 12 sons. Who was the fourth born son?
Judah.
Go back to verse 2.
Verse 2. And Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac begat Jacob. And Jacob begat Judas and his brethren.
Who's that?
12 tribes.
Who's Judas?
No, Judah, sir.
Judah. Judas is what? The Greek pronunciation of Judah. In the Hebrew, Yahweh, fourth born son. Why does he say Judas and his brethren? Why does he say that?
Because Judah is who the scepter will be.
Judah is the head tribe. Keep it simple. Judah is the head tribe. Judah and his brethren. That's why the two sticks, one is for Judah and his fellows. One is for Ephraim and his fellows, which is Jeroboam and the northern kingdom. Is Judah, Benjamin, part of Levi. That's Judah and his fellows. Northern kingdom is Ephraim and part of Levi. That's the 9.5 tribes, because the priests were not a tribe at the time. The priests were stationed in in each tribe to perform the work of the priesthood. You get the point? So when they split, half of Levi went, half of Levi stayed. You get the point? So this is Judas and his brethren. Judah, go ahead, verse 3.
Verse 3. And Judas begat Phares and Zerah of Thamar. And Phares begat Ezram, and Ezram begat Aram.
Right, so now they're giving you the lineage of who?
Judah.
Why? Why is that important?
Because Christ comes out of Judah.
He's like, you know what? Come over here and handle this business, please.
God.
And she conceived and made the King of Israel Christ.
That's right.
Immaculate Conception is a lie. Christianity and Islam teaches Immaculate Conception. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Next topic, Christmas.
You want wisdom of Solomon, sir?
Oh shit, God damn. Brother, that's my nail in the coffin. How the hell I forget that shit?
Sir.
Oh boy, I ain't fired this gun in a minute. Let's go. Wisdom of Solomon 7.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1.
Right? If you're on the line right now, break off, go to watch Commander John Yohanna show is live right now. Make sure you go watch it. You can always come and watch this class after, all right? Go ahead.
I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. Verse 2. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep.
How was he fashioned? Bro, I'm looking confused. What's going on?
No, I'm just listening.
You understand what he's saying?
Nah, I'm waiting.
No?
I want to read it again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. I myself.
Who's speaking here? I myself.
Solomon.
All right, what was Solomon?
What do you mean?
What was Solomon?
I mean, he was a king.
What? He was what?
He was a king.
You sound like he wasn't sure.
I didn't know what you was going. Okay, yeah.
What was Solomon? What is Trump?
A president.
What is Solomon?
A king.
All right then. Let's go. Read it again.
I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth.
Right. I am a mortal man. I'm a regular man just like everybody else.
Right.
And the offspring of Adam. He was the man first made of the earth, talking about the man who the Lord gave the truth.
Right.
I come from Adam.
Right.
I have the truth. I follow the one king, the one God. Because before Saul, we had one king, which was the Most High Power.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
You can go ahead. Right, read it again.
And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
Right. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
Right.
What is that talking about?
Meaning the time it takes for the course of the pregnancy.
All right.
Oh, so like, sir, for me, like the baby being formed.
The baby being formed. Notice the Bible say 10 months, not 9.
Right.
All right. Which one you really check it is a little past 40 weeks. It's really about it's 9 months and change. Esau say 9, but it's really about 10 months when you really check it because they don't really know the time of conception. They absolutely don't know that absolute time. You and the rib gonna know that, but how the hell am I pregnant? It's that night.
Yeah.
No, that can't be that night. Niggas, was that night. You remember you so and so ashes on a turkey and I can do this kind of thing. And you want to smile because you know it's that night, but he's like, no. Yeah. We're good.
It's lucky if I make too, like on a quick sidebar, like along with that said that the doctor when my rib, I had the baby, it was past the time that it was, but it was like right around 10 months.
Yeah.
And what the doctor had said out their own mouth was the baby was on time.
Yeah.
But really and truly, what y'all said was for the 9 months. Was hit, but when the 10-month hit, the doctor still said like the baby was on time, but it was really past that 38
It's really past
weeks.
that time. It really is. That's the Bible is
science.
The Bible is the truth. What do you want? All right, let's keep going quickly.
Being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
Of the what of man?
Of the seed of man.
Of what?
Of the seed of man.
Of the Holy Spirit?
Of the seed of man.
Of angel Gabriel putting imaginary rod into a woman.
Of the seed of man.
Of who?
Of the seed of man.
Of a man, not an angel. For
That's
you
right.
Christians and you Muslims. Go ahead.
And the pleasure that came with sleep.
That's sex, brothers. If you
right.
don't know it. If you don't know it, if you don't understand the pleasure that comes with sleep,
right?
Just go on the internet and pick one and see if you can, quarter, and then 6 months you tell me about the pleasure that comes with sleep. Coming in here, new man, you're gonna be like, to breathe again. Something about a righteous Eve just make the air just crisp. Just the air snapping your nostrils. Like that static in the winter when you touch something like go pop.
Yeah,
that pop in your nostrils. You was with that Dory. Yeah, he was with that Dory. I see what's going on up in the UPK here in Cross here. Right? That's how babies are born. From the seed of man, the pleasure that comes at night. Because of course during the day you're in the field, you're plowing, you're selling, you're taking care of. Nah, it's good. I don't knock over full stuff. I don't waste good stuff. The shit that's empty. I don't make those mistakes, Aki. I've been here a little while. Not as long as generals, but I've been here, you know what I mean? Just enough to know what should go and what should stay. All right? So this is the pleasure that comes by sleep. Skip down to
verse 5.
Yes.
Oh God. Verse 5. For there is no king.
There's what?
For there is no king.
There's what?
But no king.
Go ahead.
That had any other beginning of birth.
There's no king that had any other beginning of birth. Any king, whether he's the lion king or the centipede king, he comes from a male and a female doing something to make children.
Right.
You get the point?
Okay.
Immaculate conception is a lie.
That's right.
Islam and Christianity don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Christmas, Jeremiah 10. Real quick. I want to make it wholesome so everybody could learn from it. But I know you all know this already. So I'm going to make it real quick. After give me God's chosen people, give me Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Give me all the Israel scriptures. Israel is my firstborn. Give me the Gentiles 1. Give me James 1 and 1, 1 Peter 1 and 1. Quick. There's another one in Amos. There's a killer in Amos. I'm going to find it for you just now. Give me what I asked for first, sir.
Jeremiah chapter 10.
Quickly.
Verse 2, sir.
Yeah.
Verse 2.
Start at 1.
Verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Mm-hmm. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So like Hosea 8 and 8. Amos 3 and 2. I believe that's it. Hosea 8 and 8 through 10. Hosea 3 and 2. All right. Hold them two scriptures. Let's wrap this up. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead, everybody.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right. Learn not the way of the heathen and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Right. Why is it talking about that? Because the heathens celebrate something around December time. What is it called?
Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, don't think now. We're talking about Jeremiah saying. Get it, boy? What's it called?
So like, the name is getting about. I'm thinking about the death of their king.
No.
Okay.
Before Nimrod. Saturnalia. Right? The winter solstice. Right? When people even today go to Alaska to see the lights in the sky. Some old funny rainbow looking thing in the sky. They celebrate the winter solstice. They also there's another solstice they celebrate that just passed with the fall. It just was at the beginning of this month. You can look it up, right? It's just at the beginning of this month, which is in line with what's this thing coming up? Halloween, Samhain's Day or Samhain's Day. The Germans celebrate Oktoberfest. The Germans also celebrate Krampus, which is a Christmas-related holiday with, a Grinch, something like a Grinch, but it's a demon. You have Saturnalia. You have New Year's, Janus. You have, what's the other thing? Carnival, Farewell to the Flesh. Valentine's Day, right? Those are old celebrations that start basically Halloween time. But the solstice for Halloween starts before. The winter solstice is around December 20th.
Right.
You get the point? The heathens are dismayed at the signs in the sky. It's like, oh, the sun's setting later. The stars is not there anymore. Look at that. They're dismayed at that and they have celebrations. Jeremiah is saying, don't be like these dummies. Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain.
The customs of Islam and Christianity is vain, is vanity. You know why? Because a Christian cop shot a Christian brother in Philly on Monday night 10 times in front of his mother. His mother was begging, holding him back. Shot the brother. A Christian cop mowed over a brother in D.C. on Kennedy and 5th Street Northwest. This is right off of Georgia Ave. Tuesday afternoon. Get the point? A Christian president is putting Christian people in cages on the border right now. The heathens do dumb things, and we should not follow after them and do the things they do. You get the point? Muslims believe, or 5%ers believe, remove the A from an Edomite name and he could come in. And then, well, his name is Edom, there ain't no A in there, so every Edomite could come in. You get the point? They could take everybody in, which is where we go in next. Go ahead.
Say it again. They believe remove the A.
The brothers just told me something. I don't even know if it's true, but everybody just log on to Command Johnny Hand on your phone right now. Hit like, share the video. I'm trying to tell you, this shit here, brother, is absolutely ridiculous. All right, quickly, let's go.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Oh, let's tell the brother about the Moorish thing.
Oh, slap. MC Search used to be with third base.
I know.
He became part of the Nation of Gods and Earth. And his name used to be S-E-A-R-C-H. And when he had it removed because
they told him to remove the A in his name because A stands for Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, the creator. So he can't represent Allah because he's a devil, but he could be part of the 5% nation.
Also, the A represents Allah.
That's what they say. But they say the Edomites, he said he can't represent Allah to have A in his name. So they told him, took it out. But he could be a 5%er. The 5%ers, do they represent Allah? I'm just so lucky. That math is too high for me. What's the mathematics today? I don't know. It's too high for me. 1 + 1 does not equal 2 in your thing. Let's keep going quicker.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Right? The work of the act, the workman in the forest with the act. They was going into the forest and cutting trees down and fastening it to the floor and putting in silver and gold on it long before Saint Nick, long before Christ, long before Muhammad.
Right.
This was in Jeremiah time. You get the point?
Right.
This was in Jeremiah's time. They were celebrating Christmas. Arabs were celebrating Christmas too.
Right.
Right? They was honoring Nimrod. That's why Arabs today celebrate Christmas. I tell you, when I went to UK, the weekend we went to Hyde Park. Muslims surround us trying to make us Muslims. We crushed that shit in the spirit of the Most High with few men. We can dig it below our hands, because for sure I was like, well, today's day after, let's go. The next week, on purpose, we went back to London. The next week, the Saturday was Christmas. The Sunday was what they call Boxing Day in English culture. Boxing Day is a day you give gifts in boxes. Right? That's what it is. Just a day, the day after Christmas, you go to people's house and you give gifts in boxes. No, not boxing. It's boxing. Yeah, Boxing Day, right? At least that's what I learned growing up. I don't know if it's true or not. Anyway, Hyde Park was empty. Literally, the video is on the internet. Literally empty. It was leaves on the ground and UPK asking, well, where are you all?
Right.
They were home, cutting ham and drinking eggnog.
Right.
In the kufi. Right. And the dress.
Right.
Christmas is a lie.
That's right.
God's chosen people. Who holding the first one?
I got it, sir.
You check for the Quran?
Yes, right here, sir.
Give me 2nd Surah. Give me any one of the Bible first. Psalms 147 and 19. Come on, quick.
Psalms 127.
Not you. Who? If you hold the Quran, you can read the Quran. Give me somebody else.
The Psalms 147, sir.
19 and 20. Quickly, next man. Anything you're holding. James 1:1.
Psalm. Chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Unto who?
Jacob. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
2nd Surah 122. 2nd Surah 122. 5th Surah 20. 3rd Surah 84. All right, that's all I'm going to give you all for now. All right, he showed his word unto who?
Jacob.
Come on, quickly. Somebody.
He have not dealt with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Right, he showed his word unto Jacob. He have not dealt so with any nation. The Lord has not dealt with anybody else except the 12 tribes of Israel. That's in the Bible. Give me 2nd Surah 122.
2nd Surah 122. O children of Israel.
Oh, wait, hold on. God damn. That's the Quran, though.
Yeah, God.
Who's speaking there? Allah? Read it again.
O children of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel.
This is 600 years after Christ. This is 30 years after Muhammad was born in 570.
Right.
O children of who?
O children of Israel.
You know why we're in there? Because we were the influential Jews he wanted to join him. Go ahead.
Remember the grace I bestowed on you. And remember that I preferred you.
Say that again.
And remember that I preferred you.
Who does Allah prefer?
I preferred you.
Who?
You.
The children of Israel.
Right.
See why Abdul selling Slurpees and hot dog?
Right.
That's why. Because in their book, their God prefers Israel.
Right.
Come on.
And also in Surah 29:27, it tells you that only Israel.
Pull it, please. All right. Give me James 1:1. No, give me Amos 8 and 8. Who holding that?
I was holding 3 and 2.
Give me that. That's fine.
Amos 3 and 2.
No, the next one is Hosea 8 and 8. Whoever holding that. Bro, hold that next for me.
James 8.
Hosea 8 and 8.
Hosea 8 and 8.
Amos 3 and 2. Only you have I known of all the families of the earth.
Say it again.
Only you have I known.
Start at 1.
Amos 3 and 1. hear these words that the Lord has spoken.
That's on love, because they don't think you're lying.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
The Lord is talking to Israel. Go ahead.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
The Arabs didn't come out of Egypt.
Right.
The Africans didn't come out of Egypt. The Chinese didn't come out of Egypt. No Christian or Muslim came out of Egypt. Right. Israel came out of Egypt. Right. And all the families of Israel. Go ahead.
Saying, you only.
Who?
You only.
Who?
You only.
The God, the one God, only knows Israel.
Right.
I don't know what the Christians and the Muslims teaching, but God has one chosen people.
That's right.
They're the nation of Israel, which is the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, including you Negroes in the church and in the mosque, including you Negroes in the 5%er and in the Baptist church.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You're a Negro, you're a nigger, you're a descendant of slaves. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you the tribe of Israel. You the children who he only knew. Keep going.
I know of all the families of the earth.
Of all the families of the earth,
That's right.
God only chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will punish you for all their iniquities.
This is why we're in America.
Right.
Because we have a father who cares.
That's right.
Right.
The other nations do not. And give our father a hand for giving a damn. The Lord chastises who he loves. Right. The Arabs are getting chastised because he don't give a damn about them. Right. The Chinese, they ain't getting, listen, the Chinese ain't got no more corona. They're done. They're good. They weld the door, shut and burn the building and kill Suling and Young Ho. They don't give a damn. Their corona problem is over. Their corona problem is over.
Right.
Yet he punishes us because he loves us. Right. Just like a brother who has a broad and he in love with his brother and she going off, he is going to go off on her.
Right.
He is going to go off on her because he can't believe she's doing this and he done loved her so goddamn much.
Right.
He is going to go all the way off. And when he stops, he don't give a fuck about her.
Yeah,
You get the point? The Lord cares about us. Right. That's why I say, your words than the truth, brother. Thank the Lord you're having a bad day in here. Because it could be scratching A off of either my iron card. Keep going. Whoever was reading. That was it?
That was
you only have I known. Give me the next one. Give me Islam.
Okay. In the Quran, Surah 29:27.
Please.
And we bestowed upon him Isaac and Jacob.
Say it again.
And we bestowed upon him Isaac and Jacob.
Go ahead.
And caused prophethood and revelation to continue among his offspring.
Muhammad didn't come from Isaac or Jacob.
Right.
How could he be a prophet?
Right.
Brothers in Islam, you leave it. Brothers in Christianity, you leave it. I'm making a call to you tonight on purpose.
Right.
The prophets come from the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
You understand? Muhammad Ali was great not because he was a Muslim, but because he descended from cotton pickers.
That's right.
That's why he was great. Right. Not because of Islam. You get the point?
Right.
That's not. He didn't go to jail and leave his career because of Islam.
Right.
He did that because he was a nigger. That's why. Give me what's the next one? Come on.
The book of Hosea.
That's it, sir.
The book of Hosea, chapter 8, verse 8. Israel is swallowed up. Mm-hmm. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
Right? We are swallowed up. And we will be among the Gentiles as a vessel where there's no pleasure. Right. Isn't that how we live today?
Yeah.
We are the people who, they don't find pleasure in us.
Right.
You tonight, after you're done here, you're pray, you'll go watch Commander on the tape. That judge said breathing is not a constitutional right. She ruled in a case in 2015 with his brother who was handcuffed and placed on his stomach and died. And they're trying the police officer. She's the judge over it. She said, well, we can't find any precedent that went before us where the police has a lawful right or the police is breaking the law by not responding to your cause of I can't breathe.
Right.
So she ruled that this cop was innocent because breathing is not a constitutional right. We have no pleasure among the heathen.
Right.
We swallowed up. They used us up. But now they want to Just like you eat food, and now you're full, what you will be waiting on the next day when you could pass it out and get rid of that food. You're drunk with Thanksgiving dinner, you can't wait for the next day or the next few days when you can just let everything out. That's how we are. That's why that brother got shot in Philly on Monday. They executed that brother. 3 weeks ago, they did the same thing up in Silver Spring in Montgomery County. Same thing. Brother with a knife, mentally unstable. They said he was mentally unstable. The cop killed him. Yesterday in D.C., cops ran into a brother's bike, pushed him into oncoming traffic, and then drove over his body. That's what the witnesses said. I wasn't there, but I believe the witnesses because police lie. That's my history. My history with cops is that they lie. Right? Now, these cops might be telling the truth, but just like the judge says, there's no precedent for breathing. The precedent of you cops, anytime we murder, is that you lie. So you might be telling the truth, officers, DCPD, but I have to believe the precedent that you all lie. So you all murdered this brother. We have no pleasure in this place. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 9. For they are going up to Assyria, a wild ass alone by himself. Ephraim have hired lovers.
Right? We are going up to Assyria by ourselves. We going to try to make deals with these people. Like I.S.U.P.K deal. Give me verse 10.
Verse 10. Yea, though they have hired among the nations.
Even though we done blended in with these nations, even though we are American and British and Jamaican and Puerto Rican and Trinidadian, Venezuelan and Argentinian, even though we done hide amongst these nations, go ahead.
Now will I now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Right now. Right here, right now, while Islam and Christianity on the earth, what will the Lord do?
Now will I gather them.
The Lord is taking us out now.
That's right.
The Lord is taking us out now. Whether you Muslim or you Christian, the cops don't kill you if you don't come in the truth. Telling you straight up. If it were not so, then your God will protect you. Then your God will protect you. Now is the time the Lord is gathering us. Go ahead.
And they shall sorrow a little for the burden of the king of princes.
We're going to sorrow a little bit now. Now it's a sad time for us. It's rough. It's rough for us. But we will sorrow a little. Things will get worse before it gets better. But we will rule though. Give me the other one in the hold on, give me this one. 3rd Surah 84. I'm gonna get you last. Give me one more. Who holding anything else in the Bible for me?
I got something Bible, sir.
What's he got?
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
All right. Go ahead.
For
Find it for me. 3rd Surah 84.
I got it.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people
That's a
unto
cool
him.
one. That's a cool one. Should I save that one for last time? We are a holy people unto the Lord. The Lord told us to be separate. We are peculiar people. The Lord calls us his peculiar treasure. His peculiar treasure, something strange, something valuable. Like, damn, this thing is so strange. But it's valuable, and that's who we are. We are that people to this place, and we are that people to the Lord. We need to see that we are that people to each other. And that we are a peculiar treasure. Like, without you, I can't have me. You understand? That's how we need to be. That's what's going to get us out of this captivity. We could do without the heathens, though. There's nothing peculiar about them. Anybody could, fry rice. You get the point? Anybody could, 1995. Anybody could work 7-Eleven. Anybody could stand up overnight in a gas station. But LeBron James brought an economy back to Cleveland. Anybody know the figure?
4 billion, sir.
400 million. 400 million. Now, what I ain't sure is if that's how much they lost when he left, or if that's how much they gained when he came back.
They lost 400 million when he left and gained 4 billion when he came back.
One man. One nigga. And you think Christ ain't back? If one nigga could do that for a state, a nigga can't do that for the world? Shit. You must be out your goddamn mind. Give me the Quran.
3rd Surah 84.
Right? You usually.
Let's say a little bit more.
Oh, Slacky, go ahead.
Above all people.
Say it again.
Above all people.
You in the 5% centers, you in the Morris Science Temple, you in Christian church, you in the Baptist church. Little do you know But them gods you serving, you above that God.
Right.
And you above them people. You understand? And all them heathens you marrying, you above them, but you would never know it. You go marry them thinking they are better than you. When they know what they getting. That's why the game. We are above all people. The Quran doesn't teach that. And Christianity does not teach that.
Right.
Islam versus Christianity is a draw.
Right.
They both fail. They both failed us. Now, usually we end with the scripture. We gonna close with this here now.
Okay. Third Surah, 84.
You got a little bit more? We'll come back to that. We're going to end with the scripture. 2 out of 5. I'm going to leave back in your room. Hold on, we're going to come back to that. Come on, give me Surah 84.
Say, we believe in Allah, and then what has been revealed to us.
Right? Now, that's what they say. They say, we believe in Allah, and what has been revealed to us. Now, let's see what has been revealed to them. Go ahead.
And has been revealed to Abraham.
To who?
To Abraham.
Go ahead.
Ishmael.
They think anything revealed to Ishmael, but the Bible said, cast Ishmael out. Right. They're putting Ishmael in there, but Ishmael is not in the lineage of Israel. Go ahead.
Isaac. Jacob. And the tribes.
Right, and the tribes. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the tribes. They're all family. Why Ishmael in there?
Right.
He's the only anomaly. He shouldn't be in there. Go ahead.
And what Moses, Jesus, and the prophets have received from their Lord.
So where's the Arab prophet? We talk about Abraham. We talk about Isaac. We talk about Jacob, the tribes, Musa, who they like to call, and Christ. Well, Muhammad not there?
Right.
Is Muhammad in there?
No,
Gas.
right.
Muhammad is not there?
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. Next.
Right.
Who shot JR?
Right.
So Muhammad is not even in his own book, in the lineage of prophets. Keep reading. Reveal more. Do tell. Do tell.
We do not discriminate between any of them. And to him we submit.
And to who we submit? The God of them people.
Right.
That's who we submit.
Right.
Islam is a lie. Christianity is a lie. Finish it off for me, Awari.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right.
So like I said, the face of the earth is either flat or round.
Whichever way you want. Islam is a lie. Christianity is a lie. Islam versus Christianity. We did a versus battle tonight. Right? They were found lacking. But what I can say is there's one baptism, one truth, one faith, one West. The I.S.U.P.K. is the home of the truth under command and journey. YAHANNA, if it's not of the I.S.U.P.K., it is not of the Lord, and you are not in the truth.
That's right.
Get in the truth quickly before we talking about you in a class and some cup.
Right.
With that, pass the class over to Priest and Salaki to Trooper Arawadi. So the camera and do the announcements. Yeah, then stand up right here. Somebody watch the screen and do the announcements. So stand up right there in front of the You can stand on the podium, man, in front of the board. I have to lift it up so you can see the brother head, all right?
Security announcements.
Salakia, just lift the whole tripod up. And just hold it. Lift the whole tripod up and hold it.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under command and journey of YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, and is pronounced Mayashua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Remind Archeum and Arachium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, Salakia, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. And with that, I say mamaju, which means to stand.
What courtesy salute to the teacher.